Good evening. Welcome to Ep.8 of the Pariah podcast. I don't really know why we do these intros. They don't make it to our TikTok, which is where all our content really comes from. So I'm Ep.8. Next to me is Nabir. Under me is Faris. In my diagonal is Aziz. We're here to bring you top of the line content. If you are listening to this, you're a legend. You're appreciated. And you'll have something to brag about once we're all big and famous. So without further ado, let's get into our TikTok clips. The first of which, inshallah, will be about the Ballon d'Or, the most prestigious award in football, in football's glorious history.
Individual award, yeah.
An individual award in a team sport, but it is the individual award in the world sport. So it's very important. It happened yesterday, and unquestionably the greatest footballer of all time, Lionel Messi, took home his eighth. I believe they said Messi is infinity. I don't know who's in charge of branding over there at the France football, but I don't really know what that means. Hopefully, some of you guys can explain. But let me know your thoughts on the Ballon d'Or itself, the other awards that went that night, and everything else.
Okay, let me say first of all, isn't it so weird that like everything was announced like 2 weeks ahead?
Yeah, let's have a
That's
we need
that's
to
Fabrizio's fault, dude.
yeah, Fabrizio has become almost too powerful.
No, but how is it Fabrizio's fault when like the rankings are leaked?
But okay, look, it's one thing to have some Twitter account all leak, oh, this is 1 through 30. I feel like that's always been present. But to have the guy is right 99% of the time, just say who's gonna win, and then triple down, quadruple down, and it's just like all the
Like
suspense is gone.
during like the NBA draft, like how Woj and Shams will like tweet the draft pick like a second before it's announced.
Yeah.
He basically did that like 2 weeks early.
Yeah. No, and
So I know the rankings leaked, but like him just being like, "Oh, Messi's gonna go pick up his award in 2 weeks," it just like kind of
Yeah,
killed the
like
hype.
no, and
yeah,
even
like it confirmed. Like who
Yeah,
confirmed it, you know? Why is France football leaking that stuff?
right. How can he have a level of confirmation? If anything, it should be speculation. And even in the NBA, like the draft's a perfect example. There's like a level of journalistic decorum where they're like, hey, the whole point of this event is the suspense that leads up to it. I know
hmm.
we stand to benefit from being the know-it-all, but let's hold off. Fabrizio has essentially like a monopoly on journalism in most of Europe, besides like England, maybe, and some like club specific journals. I don't know
Hmm.
what chip on his shoulder, what point he has to prove to go and ruin that. Especially in a year where I feel like it could have gone either way. It's been a very like heated debate on Twitter even after the fact. So for him to rob us of that moment is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but like I don't know if it's his fault specifically. Like I feel like
He's
it's France
you're
football's
you're right.
fault.
You're right, but
Yeah.
he's become the poster boy of ruining it.
But
So
but if he didn't, like someone else would. Like
yeah, but it's
before his
him.
era, like we always know, like with big news,
Do
we've
we do
always
we agree
known.
with the selection? Do we
I
agree with
I
Messi?
personally do, and I yeah I agree.
I, I
Look
think
for
I have problems with the selection, to be honest.
okay.
Nabir,
Let
do
me
you
hear
agree
it.
with the selection? Nabir?
I initially had some doubts, but dude, after they played that montage of Haaland's goals, honestly, I was like, all right, maybe he did not deserve that because the
Hmm.
the amount of tap-ins he scored and the goals he scored were very lackluster, and I feel like Messi's
Aziz, you feel the
well,
same?
So so
Wait,
so
wait,
for
wait. So
me,
just before we
yeah.
start, so we got me and Nibs think it was the right decision. Aziz
Hmm.
doesn't. Fars, what do you think?
I'm fine with it. I'm
You're
fine with it.
fine with it.
But
Okay.
if it went either way, I would have been
So
okay.
3v1, Aziz, go ahead. Take the field, King.
So I mean, it's something that no one at least us, we don't disagree on the fact that like he's the best player to ever grace the sport, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's given all of that. But like
Mhm.
when you talk about a competition that happened a year ago, okay, right?
Okay.
Literally like
Hmm.
11 months ago,
Sure.
and it's out of 7 games this dude scored 7 goals, 6 of them is like penalties, right? And it's just like it's fine margins, and it's not that like big of a contribution. Like, yes, he's the heart and soul of Argentina, but like it's such a minuscule, like it's such a small like achievement. Like the World Cup is the World Cup, right? But then like all comes down to like 5-6 games, and winning them by a penalty like each game or whatever. Even lost to Saudi Arabia, not even gonna mention it, but it's like I feel like this award does not reward the player that kind of performed best throughout the year. It's more of like a status of, oh, who's the best player, not the player who performed the best. And
I
some
agree with you
people
on that,
argue
honestly.
that like if someone wins it once, like they want to change the format where like if someone wins it once, that's it. Let's have the second best player that played this entire year. That would like make it more fun and more like, oh, I want to be the
Or at
best
least
player
be
this
like,
year or whatever.
you can't win it for the next like 3 seasons or something, like some type of limit. I agree with you. I like that idea.
But
Yeah, because
as
it's boring at this point.
Wait,
It's
wait, but
really
listen.
boring.
But listen, I think it's boring because we've had this privileged opportunity to have this guy win 8 in 14 years. I don't think other players in the future are going to be at that level personally. And I think if they are, they deserve that recognition and that career-ending stat of, hey, I was the best in the world. This is my proof for X amount of years. But okay, going back to addressing what Aziz was saying, right? So first, let's clarify the period of the Ballon d'Or. It's not. A lot of people
They
think it's
changed
like
it, right?
it's not a calendar year thing anymore. It's not for 2023, right? The official period for it is August 1st, 2022 to July 31st, 2023, right? In that period, I'm just going to read stats. So Haaland has 56 goals and 10 assists for a combined goals and assists of 66. Messi has 41 goals and 26 assists for a combined of 67. Messi has 25 man of the matches to Haaland's 11. Messi has 44 big chances created to Haaland's 14, and 153 chances created to Haaland's 41. Haaland, of course, won the treble. Messi won League One, the Finalissima, and the World Cup.
You make up that second one.
So, yeah.
No,
but
so
let me say something, Aziz,
Finalissima.
to your point about like Messi, like scoring like whatever 6 goals in the World Cup. But overall, if you look at him like throughout the game, you can't deny that he was like, apart from his penalty goals, he was fully responsible for making Argentina win the World Cup.
It's
That's
a
number
simple
one.
question.
And then let me say something else. And then to Haaland's point that you make about the treble, I really don't think Haaland had significant contributions to any of those. Like if I remember,
wait, no, let's
you can say like, hey, he scored like this amount of goals in the league, but like the goals he scored were not. I don't remember many of them being crucial, like 1-0 wins that Haaland scored the only goal in league games.
I'd argue Rodri had more like out of nowhere goals in clutch moments than Haaland in that season.
And Gundogan. These two players, I feel like, were more influential to their treble winning.
You could say the same thing to like, what did Messi do for that league?
He scored. Okay, fine.
What Champions League? What did PSG do in the Champions League?
We all know the League One win isn't the reason, right? It's the World Cup, and he scored 2 goals in the final. Haaland failed to score in both finals that City played, right?
But that does not like not scoring in a final means that the other team like knows that he's good. He's scoring 3 goals per game. They're marking him heavy. Okay, the other players will.
They know Messi is good.
So they didn't know Messi was a good player, huh?
No, Messi is a good player, but Messi is all over the pitch. He's not like a.
So why wasn't Haaland? I feel that like you can't just like take away credit for Messi and give it to Haaland in a situation where Messi performed better, right? Like
no. But again, I started off with like the World Cup being like such a short period and such a long time.
I agree.
I'm saying the Premier League is 38 games. He broke the records for the Premier League. No one has ever scored as many goals.
You know what? He was rewarded in the Premier League. He won PFA Player of the Year. He got the Golden Boot. He has his flowers in the Premier League. let's talk
Sure.
about football as a whole. What's worth more, a Premier League or a World Cup? I know it's 7 games, but
No, not a Premier League, a treble. The amount of players that won a treble is very few. The amount of players that won the World Cup is so many, and a lot of them, a lot of the players that historically have won the World Cup are not even that good.
okay, we're not talking about the sixth player on the bench. We're talking about the best player in the side that won the World Cup. Those
Yeah.
players are lauded way more than players who won a treble. Because let's be honest, right? There's very few players in the history of the game that have been the reason their team won the treble. A treble is
Mhm.
because of just the sheer number of games you have to play is more a reflection on the team than anything else. A 7-game tournament is one a single player can have a tremendous amount of influence on, right? And if we're talking just like what the Ballon d'Or has rewarded, it values the World Cup over all else, right? And like as a Madrid fan, dude, you should understand this better than anyone else. Luka Modric won in 2018 because his team got to a second place finish in a World Cup. He didn't even win it. And he did not have
it
the
wasn't
highest.
just because of that.
Yeah, didn't they win the CL and the league that year too?
Yes,
I
they
understand,
won
but
the
if
double.
wait,
They won the
they-
double, and he
it-
was monumental to a team that's
Exactly.
broke. Croatia, who would have thought Croatia would
exactly.
reach the final? you know?
Exactly. And so you have to admit that the World Cup was a huge part of his win. If he had just won the league and the CL, he was not winning the Ballon d'Or. That was not going to happen.
I think it's more just because Messi, dude. Because like when Spain won the World Cup or when Germany won the World Cup, those years I think Messi won the
He had
Ballon d'Or those years as
91
well.
goals, brother, the year Spain won the World Cup. He had 91. That record
No, I'm
will
just
never
saying.
be
I'm just
broken.
saying, and then when Germany won, like I think either Messi or Ronaldo won. I just
No,
think
he didn't have
their
91 goals. He had 91 goals in 2012. They
oh,
won the
right.
World Cup in 2010.
He had 70 something that year. 70 something. So we're just gonna discredit
No,
that.
I'm just
No,
saying.
but Ronaldo had
Messi's
60.
himself.
Like it's the same.
Messi and
It was
Ronaldo's
the
names just
standard
hold
back then,
too
no?
I
much weight.
understand, but we're not debating between Messi and Ronaldo. In that instance, we're debating whether someone on Spain should have won it over Messi. You could argue Andres
Like
Iniesta,
Iniesta or something.
right,
yeah.
right, sure.
The argument was Wesley Schneider for sure. He was wrong. He didn't even finish on a podium. Like
Yeah, I agree. Look,
he won
another
the
thing we
treble
have
that
to-
year.
I think this prize though, like historically, has
It's
not
flawed.
been voted correctly. It's
flawed.
flawed,
I
very
agree.
flawed. But I
It's
think
a popularity contest. That's what it
For
is,
sure,
you know. And
for
like
sure.
whatever. It's like I take it with a grain of salt. It's not like
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I
it's
also
whatever.
think it's
Dude, the
I-
rankings were actually comedy. Like
yeah.
Like
they
with
said
the goalkeeper
Griezmann was
thing.
the 21st best player. Brother, he was top 5 easily that whole year.
top
Like
5.
that to me was I'd put him top
He's
5.
on fire. He's actually
I
on
understand
fire
top
right
10, top 5.
For
now.
this
In the World
past
Cup, he
year,
was
I would.
really good.
He
I
was probably
agree.
the second best player in the World Cup. So if
I
that's
agree.
that's what we're going with, that's a podium at least.
Okay, but okay,
20,
yo,
20 players better than Griezmann?
I like that you said that. I like that you said Griezmann was the second best player in the World Cup, right? But in a Ballon d'Or ranking, who do you think finishes higher, him or Mbappe?
Griezmann or Mbappe?
Mbappe, and why? What one moment do you think would get him that podium finish above Griezmann?
Oh, you wanted
The
me
final.
to say the final, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That game matters. That's the biggest game in the sport. That game matters a lot.
But Mbappe is just so good.
I understand,
As
but
a
what
player, like throughout the year,
I
like, he was really good.
discount the final and look at the 6 games beforehand. Griezmann was better. We all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
So we are all admitting and saying that Mbappe deservedly
about that.
finished.
I
You
think
don't-
I think without the final, like I
Yeah,
think still like
I still
the 6
put it
games
there.
before that, Mbappe was better still.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll never
Mbappe's
know.
him, man. Like
I agree.
Griezmann was a really good team player and everything, but Mbappe was him.
Mbappe is him, and part of that is his ability to show up in that game, bro. Like I think we're all in agreement here that like Haaland had a great season, right? And that Messi's a great player, right? But
Mhm.
if like this award is about capturing moments, the moment in football in the last 365 days is not Man City winning the treble. It's Argentina winning the World Cup. And I think
Maybe because it's Man City. If it was another popular team, maybe the whole thing would be different. If it was Real
Maybe.
Madrid or Barcelona, it would probably been
I
different.
agree. If
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
Real
Benzema
Madrid,
won last year.
if it was Real Madrid,
Because no one cares about City.
Yeah.
City won the treble, and it was just like another day.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, like
whatever.
the day after is like,
But
خلاص,
can I
like
tell you
the
one more
news is done.
thing? In terms of that, like looking forward in the future, I feel like the race between obviously now Haaland and Mbappe. Mbappe is gonna be the Messi, and Haaland is gonna be more looked as the Ronaldo figure. And I feel like Mbappe is gonna win way, way more Ballon d'Ors, even though I feel like Haaland will put up more numbers. It's just gonna be like I just feel like it's the same trend is gonna happen, just like Messi and
I
Ronaldo
wouldn't
happened.
be surprised also if you throw in Bellingham's name, because with the
Mm.
Euros being
Mm,
next summer too, if we get like an England win and a Madrid Champions League win or league win, and Bellingham's like the face of that, he could easily be in contention
I
for it.
agree.
If this
I
is how
agree.
it's going to be now, like with these guys as they're kind of the face of their leagues, it could go
yeah.
between the three
And
of them. You know?
just to like kind of make this a more general thing, right? I
Mhm.
think good players in good systems are recognized far less than good players in bad systems. And like not to diss Madrid, right? But a lot of this year literally has been just Bellingham pulling out moments of brilliance, right? Whereas Holland's goals, if you look at them, they're very team dependent. We see
Mm,
Holland in games where he does not get adequate service and he's dropping like 0.1 xg with 0 goals, right? Whereas Bellingham, when things aren't looking good at all, is able to pull things out of the back. I think that also has something to do with the fact that Holland didn't win. I'd argue you throw not
mm,
maybe elite strikers, just decent strikers in that City system, and they get like a pretty good goal record. They're not going to get 66 maybe, right? But
mm.
maybe you get 30, 35, right?
But
So
I think the
I think
counter
that
argument
discredits
here
him a
is
little
that
bit.
like throughout City's history with good strikers, they never reached that until they got Haaland. It was
That's true.
like they
you know
bulldozed over
you know who Loki should have been way higher in the rankings? Julian
Vinny
Alvarez.
Jr.
Because he did both. And
Yeah,
and
he's pretty good, man.
and
Like he's actually really good.
he played a decent role in both.
Yeah, what
So
was his
Yeah,
ranking? I just
I
realized.
I
How
I
did
think he was top 15. I'll have to
like
fact check that.
19 or
But
something.
anyway, we spent a lot of time on this Ballon d'Or topic. I think regardless of what we think about the award, we're all in recognition that, like Messi is the greatest ever. And if it means he gets one more moment simply because of that fact, I personally am okay with it. And Haaland will have many more years to get many more personal accolades. So not the worst thing in the world. Let's go straight back into some Premier League football. We had the glorious Manchester Derby this past weekend where City won 3-0 with Haaland getting a brace and Foden getting the third goal.
Hmm.
Absolute dominance by Man City, and it didn't even look like they were at 100%. Let me know what you guys think.
I guess I can start this one. I did have the pleasure of watching that game throughout. And yeah, I agree with you. It didn't really feel like the two like it was like a high quality match. I don't know if that was because United weren't really up to it, but even City, like for a good spell of that first half, I thought United looked like they could get something. And that penalty kind of just shoots them in shoots them in the foot, and they kind of just fall off after that. But it wasn't like I don't think I enjoyed that game. I can't lie. I don't know about you guys. Like it just didn't feel
I
like
enjoyed the
fun.
result a lot, but I did not. You're right. I did not enjoy the
Yeah.
game. I think City could have had a couple more, but not for
Hmm.
the fact that City were that much better. I just think United were horrible, to be honest. They at certain
Yeah,
points
my
in that game, they didn't even look like a Premier League side to me. Like it was just
my
so easy.
qualms with this started already from like the lineup, and I think even United fans are starting to get like sick and tired of how Ten Hag like justifies things. Because I heard
Mm,
like his pre-match, someone asked him about like this player being dropped or why is this guy not there, and he just says tactics. Like that was his only description, and I'm
Yeah.
like that's how you get people to turn on you.
And they
And then
don't
you look at the bench
play
and
with
they're
any
Varane's on the bench, Mount's on the bench, like guys that you want to see starting it there. And then to justify that by just saying tactics, and then to go and watch that team play with no tactics, like I don't know.
exactly. They don't have tactics. Like this whole
mm,
thing of tactics is nuts. I think, look, 2 weeks ago, I asked you guys, not 2 weeks ago, even like a month ago, I asked you guys, we were talking about the Chelsea and United projects. And I was like, when
Hmm.
will the clock run out for either one of these managers? And I think that game is the beginning of the end for Ten Hag. Like, I saw a very noticeable shift in fan like sentiments afterwards. The media had, I think, turned on Ten Hag quite a bit ago, but a lot of the United faithful kept backing him. I saw a lot of that disappear purely not even because of the result. I don't think many United fans were going to that game expecting to win or get a point, but because
Yeah.
of Ten Hag's sheer arrogance and lack of humility to, reason with fans, tell them what they're working on. Because when you look at the pitch, United fans aren't seeing anything. A reporter asked him, when will this side start playing like Ajax? And he said, never. I don't have the players. And this is the same guy that signed, I believe, 4 Ajax players so far and spent well over 400 million. I think the boat of like complaining about personnel has sailed long ago for him, and it's time to like deliver.
I don't think this manager has ever taken any accountability on any of the games that he lost. Like every time there's like a blame to either referee decisions
Yeah, there's
or
always an
players
excuse,
not
man.
turning up. It's kind of
Mm.
crazy. Like there has to be somewhere you have messed up, even whether it's gonna be tactics or picking the right team. But I'm gonna agree with him on the first penalty, like penalty call. Like I don't think that should have been a penalty. Maybe that swing the game on their Man City side, but those kind of tackles or are always made in games, and I've seen multiple occasions where those have not been given. So um, I don't know, man. Like Man United overall still doesn't look good, but like that was one of the things that I noticed.
I think the problem with United, and you touched on him lacking humility and like taking accountability for his losses and all of that. I think Ten Hag came to United to do one job, which is like the characters in the dressing room, the egos, to
Mm.
dismantle them and just to start like fresh. I think him like trying to be a hard ass and all of that. I think that was the plan because as we know from the previous managers that did not succeed, they always blame the dressing room being toxic and players thinking they're better than the club or better than the manager. Happened with Ollie, happened with Ragnick and
Jose.
so he came in to kind of like put his foot down, kicked Ronaldo out, banished Sancho, and to kind of be that hard ass, but it's not working though.
Look, maybe you know what? Like that's a good point you raised. That maybe the way to defeat big egos is with a big ego. But then I'd question you on the people he's brought in, right? If the whole goal
Yeah,
is
yeah, for sure.
a cultural reset, right? Look at some of the characters he's brought in. You have Andre Onana, who, after making mistakes in games, comes out in post game interviews, is like, that's never going to happen. The next week, same thing happens. Like you have Anthony. We saw the way he behaves against Doku. I think he was on the pitch for 7 minutes and somehow received, I think, the worst ratings on most of the football rating apps. Like, if the goal here is to have a transformation, I think he's already poisoned whatever this new product is with some of the people he's brought in, and I don't think he's gonna last much longer, to be honest.
Is this the
Yeah,
hardest job right now, this United
You
managerial
see,
position?
no,
yeah, it's
so
the hottest seat for sure.
I will tell you this. I don't. A lot of people are saying, okay, it's the United job that's too big for Ten Hag. I think it's just a Premier League job that's too big for him. I think for years he was at Ajax. Nobody really watches Ajax unless it's a European night, unless you're from the Netherlands, right? And
Hmm.
when he was there, at least I know they're bottom of the league now. When he was there, winning the league was kind of like a foregone conclusion. When it comes to pressure, it was like almost non-existent. He's had to keep the ship going that was already like full steam ahead. Now, every week he has to answer difficult questions. Every week there's a chance he loses the game, right? And these are things he's never dealt with before. And it's just there's a lot of people that are good winners, I think to succeed in the Prem, you need to be a good loser and a good man manager. And I don't think he's either of those things.
I think he can manage like a bottom half team in the
Mhm.
Prem and do well, to be honest.
Because then the expectation would be like, hey, you'll lose games, right?
Yeah, probably.
He's come to a club where you're not supposed to lose games, but you probably will because of just how the squad is and how things are
Yeah.
run. What I would pay money to see is a Ten Hag training session because what do these guys do on the pitch, bro? Like you look and it kills me to give credit to Spurs. You look at them. This guy's been here for like 3/4 of
Couple
a
months.
preseason, and already you see ideas on the pitch. Ten Hag's been here for a year and a half now, and you see nothing. And look, I get in his first year, maybe it was about survival, not about tactical dominance. We saw that with Arteta, right? We played a completely different way in his first year than we did in his second and third. But we're not seeing that shift from Ten Hag. He is continuing to play for results and not getting them, and that's the issue.
You could say the same thing about like even Ange. You mentioned Ange, and then even De Cherby's only been there a little bit. Unai Emery literally just came. Like these guys are doing more with a lot less.
Yeah.
And if that's the yeah, that's like if I'm a United fan, I'm just like, how is this taking so long? And also, kind of they've been sold something different.
Mm-hmm.
And we mentioned this a lot. We spoke about United earlier, I think, and same point still. You come as this like possession tiki taka Ajax beautiful football, and you play very pragmatic. You sign very brute players, robust players to come and just do this job. And I think that's what he thought would succeed in the Prem, and so far it really hasn't. They've been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he could go. I don't know. The lack of quality in replacements is pretty clear right now, but I would not be surprised if it continues like this. He's definitely going.
So currently, United sit 8th in the Premier League and third in their Champions League group. And by the grace of Onana's penalty save in the last
Hmm.
minute of the game, they're still kind of in the conversation there. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch. We'll keep our eyes on it. But looking slightly lower in the Premier League table, we have Chelsea in 11th
11th.
place, who crumbled to
Aye.
10th place Brentford 2-0 this past weekend with a goal at the very end that genuinely belongs in one of those "you won't believe this happened" compilations on YouTube. Forrest, walk us through that game, your thoughts, your emotions, and
That
everything
goal, I
else.
don't even, like that goal is just it's
It's
whatever. I
fake.
mean, when
It's
you're
fake.
when you're when your keeper is sent up there, anything at that point you've already given up. Like you could concede five more if you're trying to get that equalizer. But yeah, um, dude, I don't know. It's the same game, man. And this time like a little glimmer of hope when you beat a couple of relegation sides like Burnley and Fulham, and you get some confidence, and then you're like, dang, are we back? We're not back. We are nowhere near back. Back is a place that we will not reach anytime soon. And it's inexperience. It's poor signings. I don't know what I'm running out of the same things to say. But like the quick summary of that match, you have all the ball. You create a couple of chances that any other player buries. I'm running out of. I'm saying that too much, honestly.
Yeah, I feel
But
like we've had the same segment on replay, and it's like
it's the
I
same.
feel
So
bad for you, bro, and nothing's changing.
yeah, I
I
don't
think
know
they're
what it.
better now. I honestly, especially like with the Arsenal
No,
game.
I think they are better, and I think they are suited to play bigger matches. And it's the same thing. Anytime some team comes with like a 3-4 block, like Pochettino has
Mhm.
no answers on what to do. The players are like stumbled. They're like, how do we like get past this one person? And you'll see that. And then when we play Arsenal, sure, we look decent. We know how to play on the counter. It looks kind of like vintage Chelsea with a bit of sit back and move. But when the other team is sitting back, it's just like they don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think either. This
I
is gonna.
think I think um he just needs to put your players into shooting practice, man. Because
Yeah.
there were some
Oh,
chances that like I don't know, anybody should finish. Like Sterling's messing up. freaking Cucurella had like an open shot.
I
And he
know
messed
that
up.
ball was crazy though from Cole Palmer, that little
Yeah,
dink.
Palmer pulling strings, but like
Men are
you just
talking
need
about
your
balls, man. Get some goals.
That's all we have to celebrate, dude. Chance creation.
When's Nkuku coming back? I feel like
He could be
that's your
it.
last
He could be the one.
last move, and you gotta
Last
pull that
chance.
out.
I think right now it's like
Yeah,
next
he might win
international break.
Rookie of the Year, dude. They might give him Rookie of the Year. No, what's it called? I just want to say, dude, I honestly am at a stage where I feel bad for you now because genuinely that Arsenal game and that Burnley game, they were a false dawn in my opinion. And it's going to be a rough stretch in November. I'm looking at these games and it's looking real bad.
But the thing is, I feel more confident when we play better teams.
Yeah, but do you think, for example, let's talk about next weekend, right? You play Spurs, and you told us 2-1 last weekend.
I still feel that, dude.
So my thing is, right? Stubborn managers like Arteta probably aren't. I mean, we saw it. He didn't park the bus against you, right? I think a guy as new to the job as Ange is has no reason to be arrogant in his style of play, and I think to continue his run of form, might consider sticking like 8 guys behind the ball. You don't think so?
I wholeheartedly doubt he changes his style of play just for us, because we're there for the taking in his eyes. At least I would say so.
And you still back that result that you'll beat them?
I do. That's just based off like the matches I've seen against better sides. We've looked okay, and I think even if maybe not a win, I don't see us losing. I don't know. I have like the weirdest confidence about also going to White Hart Lane. I think we usually do pretty well against Tottenham in the last like however many years I've been watching us.
I like the sound of that, Forrest. Go get them, man. We'll be here cheering you on.
But if we lose that and I gotta talk about that, oh man,
it's not a good thing. Let's talk about another London club, Arsenal. Victorious over Sheffield United, 5-0 comfortable victory with our very own a person we've slated on this podcast before, Eddie Nketiah, bagging a Premier League hat trick. And what a hat trick it was. That third goal, oh my God. I've been watching it all week. If he can work that into his game more consistently, we are cooking. Like, we are genuinely cooking. Whether that will happen is yet to be seen. But regardless of what happens in the future, I do want to let him have this moment. Congratulations, Eddie. That took a lot. That's my guy.
Sorry, I just I don't know. Good for Nketiah, dude.
Yeah,
former Cobham boy.
Yeah, of course. That first goal was a straight Cobham link up. Declan Rice to Eddie, nice turn and finish.
Wait, you guys want to buy him? You guys need a striker, no?
Yeah, 60 million, and I'll personally drive him to Stamford Bridge. I promise. I think genuinely, bro, we needed a nice, comfortable win like that. It felt good. Just like,
wait, would you sell me
for 60 million?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this, if this winner they kept coming,
if this winner Chelsea came and gave us 60 million pounds, I would 100
you
million.
Go get
bro,
Tony.
That's the same price as Tony, dude. We're not gonna go to
but Tony's older.
Tony.
No, Tony's 80. Tony's 80 million. So that's like come on, man. That's a no-brainer.
Don't make up.
Y'all talking about matchup mismatch.
Tony does not fit the Chelsea like scouting or like recruitment strategy. He's
that's all bullshit, 28? Dude.
Nah, man. It seems a pretty rigid system for us. I don't know about BS, but okay, whatever. Arsenal won, hat trick, great, good game, loved it. Tomiyasu also scored, dedicated to his mother who passed away last year. I love Japan. I love Tomiyasu. Very sugoi of him to score. Also, Nketiah dedicated his hat trick to his auntie that passed away. Look, a lot of times players go through stuff and we have no idea about it. So these are just reminders for us to be more sensitive to things. Kind of on a related note, we've talked about Odegaard like playing badly. Arteta revealed dude's been like struggling with like a ankle injury the last 3 weeks, so maybe that's part of the reason. But hopefully, we could all be more understanding. Cuts to a clip next week of us just like screaming at some dude.
Dude, is this the worst collection of promoted teams in history?
Dude, but and we thought
Sheffield,
Luton was going to be the
are-
worst. Sheffield got
Yeah.
1 point, bruh.
Yeah.
One.
Who we met? Oh, Burnley.
Yeah, they had a mid off. That was that's the
Oh yeah,
biggest
no.
mid.
Luton beat Everton, I think, or no,
Yeah.
Burnley. I mean, I don't know if they played yet. Yeah,
Luton
really bad,
has
really
5.
bad.
They have 5 points,
they beat
bro.
Everton.
They're out here.
Hmm.
If Sheffield continue this, they're finishing the league with 4 points on third
insane.
track. Like
I can't even think I can name a Sheffield player, man. I feel bad.
Nah, I saw the craziest Twitter stat. It said the only side to have no wins after 10 games, the only other side besides this Sheffield United side was Sheffield United.
How about how about the worst Premier League side?
Derby actually like started. I mean, decent. I mean, nothing's good, but better than 1 point. But yeah. Anyway, moving along. We had some news very close to our hearts. Australia pulled out of the bid for the 2034 World Cup, and I'll let you do the honors, Aziz. What does that mean?
Saudi Arabia to host World Cup 2034, inshallah. Welcome.
Let's go.
Followers of the pod is gonna get a special treatment picking up from the airport.
Actually, if you're one of the first 100 followers on our TikTok page, the 2034 World Cup is looking
all
bright
expenses
for you.
paid.
It's looking bright for you.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah.
Yo, who's winning the 2034 World Cup?
Oh,
Place
man.
your bets right now.
Brazil.
I'm going England.
That's like 10 years from now, right? Yeah.
A decade from now, man.
Bro, that's Ethan Nwaneri in his prime with Lewis Skelly on the right. Oh man, it's looking bright. Musiala will probably still be in his prime. Saudi, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Hey, Bangladesh might play.
Pakistan is qualifying, dude.
Yeah. Jude Bellingham is gonna be like 28 or something, 29.
Oh my goodness,
man!
So
yeah, before about the El Clasico,
that's so
30.
Before we wrap, let's talk about first of all El Clasico and then Jude Bellingham. I think he deserves his own thing. I actually got to watch El Clasico. Feels like the first one I've watched in a long time. I thought Barca played really well in the first half, like really well. Like probably should have been more than 1 goal up. And the reason why a 1-0 goal in games like that is so dangerous is any player, but specifically Jude, can just pull out something crazy like his first goal. Dude, the sound the net made on that goal, oh my God. It felt like, on FIFA when you play with your mic out and the controller makes that noise when you score a goal? That's exactly what it was, man. It was beautiful. And then I remember it was the 90th minute. I went upstairs. I was like, no, nothing's happening. And I get a text from Nibs and it's just Jude. And, it could have been he gave up a penalty. He got a red. I don't know, a bad foul. But in my head, I was like, this guy scored again, didn't he? And I was already picturing the goal. I swear to God, what I saw in my head was very close to what happened.
Is he the best poacher in the world, Aziz?
Bro, he might be.
He's the best tap-in merchant in the world.
Bro, they need to nerf
but
this
the
guy.
thing is, like, the system serves him very well. There's like a vacancy
system talk,
that,
dude.
No. There's vacancy in that area that like he just like
he's always there.
Yeah, no, but he's not always there. He's there when like in the right moment.
That's what I'm saying. Like every time there is a time to be there, that man is there.
But like, but having like a striker that's like sits there for like stationed there is an issue because like the defenders would anticipate the ball getting to him. But him just like spawning there causes the issue. So it's not like, oh, he's just a tap-in merchant, whatever. Like his reading of
Who
the
said
game is
that?
actually incredible for a kid.
Dude,
No, he's good, man. He's good. He's good.
this
I'm just
guy's playing
hating.
career mode, man. Like this is insane. He played for Birmingham 2.5 years ago. We all laughed when they retired his jersey, but soccer teams don't retire jerseys.
Jerseys, yeah.
Like
Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
the
Are you
fact
serious?
that happened, they retired
Only
his
in
jersey
Italy they
when
do
he
that.
left to
I've
Germany.
never heard
He
that.
hadn't done anything, bruh. And everyone was like, "What are y'all doing?" First of all, we
They
don't
knew,
retire
dude. They
jerseys.
knew something.
They knew. They probably deserve some written apologies. Because what the hell is going on, bro? His lineup is crazy. I like,
All right, dude. You got a crush on him, dude?
yeah, bruh. Yo, I'm curious to see what lucky woman gets to bag him. 'Cause
Chill, dude. Yeah.
he's gonna
You know,
bag
the other
Kendall
thing,
Jenner, Kim K all at once. Like,
Nah, stop the pod, man.
the other thing, did you guys hear Gundogan's post-match interview? He was so
Yeah.
pissed. My man said, "Why are we not upset?"
There's like a
And
lack of frustration, right?
yeah,
Something like
dude.
that.
did you see
And
him
then
at the Ballon d'Or? That was even funnier.
walking away, that
No,
was
no,
crazy.
he said, hopefully more Barca players are here next year. He said, hopefully y'all are bums next year. But anything else we want to cover?
Not really, bro.
Damn.
Pretty,
All right.
pretty
EFL
tame.
Cup.
Yeah,
EFL
oh,
Cup.
let's get some
United. United
forget
and
score predictions, right? Let's just go who's winning the EFL Cup. I want to hear it now. The big teams left in it are Liverpool,
Newcastle United.
us, Newcastle United. Are Chelsea
Chelsea.
in it? See, still?
Yeah. Yep.
Do we count them as a big club? All right, I'm kidding. Let's just get our winner in, or will it be neither of those guys? I'm going for Arsenal win.
I think Liverpool's gonna
I
take
say
it.
Liverpool too. Yeah, Liverpool.
Liverpool, Aziz, Newcastle.
Newcastle United for sure.
Yep, there we go.
For
Bang.
sure. Yeah.
Quick fire. I like that. That's it for this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. We know you're not listening to this. Go watch the TikTok clips. Enjoy yourself. Repost them, share them, like them. We are close to 50 followers on TikTok. I'm going to be more frugal with our goal setting from here on out. So get
Let's
us
go.
there and you'll make us happy and we'll keep making content and it'll be great. So see you next time. Thank you and
Peace.
well wishes.